My mic is completely muted.
Yeah,
Welcome,
Sarah. Hey,
wow.
welcome to our very first live morning show ever on this network. It happened to be this one, and that's what I did because I just got up an hour ago.
Yeah, same. That's what kind of day it's gonna be today.
Do that again though, as if we just came in. Hey, hold on. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Check this out, guys. Rewind button.
Oh no. What's up? Welcome back to Go Get That Rose. I am your host, Sarah. I'm very tired. I didn't sleep at all last night. With me, as always, is Jay Wade.
Yo, what's up? I'm with you. I'm extremely tired, and I've never done a show in the morning. I've never recorded a show in the morning, I don't think, let alone done one.
We used to record in the morning all the time. What are you talking about? Yeah.
I don't know. We've been doing this show for quite a while now, so, you know.
Yeah, we used to do it in the morning.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but I believe you. But this episode was crazy. I don't like Jamie. I'm just going to say it right off the bat. I don't like him. He is the fox in the hen house.
Yeah, that's it. End the show. Bye.
And I saw you tweeting out praising him for like being so vulnerable. Was that before he showed his true colors, or was that after? And
I don't think I praised him.
Well, you said thank you, Jamie, for being so vulnerable or something like that. And I
literally don't think I tweeted that at all. So okay. Unless I retweet it what someone else said.
Well, then that means you agreed with it. So was that before or after?
Oh, that was before. That was during his sad story.
See, that's why I hold off on until the end of the episodes, because you never know when that's going to happen.
Well, I still stand by it. I think so. We're going to talk about Jamie. I want to do what Bachelor Nation has not done and say, if we do talk about Jamie's story, this is your warning. Jamie does talk about suicide. Bachelor Nation has not Bachelor Nation, but the Bachelor shows have not put out trigger warnings for their serious topics, which in the beginning of their episodes, which I think they should. They did after the fact put a little blurb for suicide prevention, a hotline, which is great. I still think they need to do more. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying, like, hey, if you're going to have these serious conversations that kind of just come out of nowhere, honestly, like, you need to kind of put warning for people that it might upset them or be hard. Like, you just don't know. So, just saying. Jamie, okay. Here's the thing about Jamie. Didn't really like him when he got the group date or the one-on-one date, because he was like, I gotta see if she fits in my life, which I understand. You want to see if someone fits into your life. But then he went, I fly to third world countries on a whim just because. I'm like, why third world countries? Like, why? First of all, their date was I liked him on the date. I've always wanted to go like rock climbing like that. Like, that seems like fun. And then I liked how open he was to her about his story, about his mom and his mom struggling with like depression and suicidal tendencies. And I thought he was very open with her, and it was nice to see those kind of conversations. But as other people have said, just because you have tragic things that have happened in your life does not make you a good person. And it doesn't mean that you can't be a toxic or a manipulative person, which I think we saw a lot of those qualities come on later. So, like, I empathize for what he went through. And like what Michelle said, like, that's really terrible and awful. And I'm sure that did make him a stronger person, but he did show a lot of qualities later on in the episode that was not good person behavior. So
Dirty dog.
Well,
Dirty
listen, yeah, that was wild. That he was
the fox in the hen house. He's sneaking around, stealing all the roses.
he was literally like, yeah, it just doesn't sit well with me. I don't like, and the stuff in question is
person who brought it up. He's the only person who said that he wanted to find out. He's the only person at all who said a single thing about it. And then he goes in there like, man, I don't care.
Yeah.
You girl, but like everybody out there is talking about you and this other guy. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Has he obviously never seen this show in the past? That always comes to bite you back in the ass, man.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Did he not expect her to go out there and say and kind of call everyone out and the guys to start questioning it? But even with the guys on the
face, when she came down and started talking about it, he had that look like,
oh, yeah. It was the Carl thing all over again, like literally, like. It was just he hid it a little bit better though, because the guys were coming up to him and talking to him, and he was like, "I don't know, like I don't know who said it." Like
that, man, toast to that, brother. You know, and I'm like, dude, doing it, but those guys, those three dudes he was up on that balcony talking to about it, they all have to know it was him. If they don't know it was him, they're fucking stupid. Because it had to be him. Plus another thing is, I don't know, but I would imagine that the last person she spoke with before she came down and talked to them was Jamie. So why wouldn't you be like, my first thought would be, who was the last guy she talked with? And then I would take it from there. But those three dudes he was telling that to up on that balcony, they have to know it was him. If not, they're stupid.
Especially since, like, he was the one that brought up the story about his friend in Michigan or Detroit or whatever who saw her with someone. And then she brought that up. So I would think like, oh, Jamie's the one that told me that story. So why wouldn't Jamie be the one that went and told her?
And let me say something about that. When he was telling her like that story about his friend, dude, was it me or was he like coming off in a really shitty way? Cause like the way he was as if like kind of like I got the goods on you kind of a way. The way he was talking, his tone, like
to her.
Yes, so I got a friend and he knew something about you. He ran into you at a bar.
Yeah, it was really awkward.
To me that's coming off like I got you. And I like that at all. Yeah. I don't know how she didn't pick up on that.
I don't know the way. So I don't have an issue with the guys kind of being concerned and raising questions about like her and Joe's relationship. Like that's normal and that's natural. And I think if he would have went in there and handled it better, it would have been fine. But the fact that he went in there and just was like, I don't have an issue when we literally saw him being the only one that cared about it. And telling her, like, I don't have an issue. It's all the other guys, like, and really trying to stir stuff up. That's where we're like, Jamie, bro, what are you doing? Like, just be honest with her. Like, just tell her, like, hey, I have these concerns. I don't think she'd be angry if you would have came to her and said, like, I have these concerns. You seem to know Joe. I heard that my friend saw you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like you said, it just seemed very, like, I got some dirt on you. Like, it was like a power play, and I didn't like it.
And I have a question about that. And maybe it's a generational gap because I got 20 years on you. So maybe it's a generational gap. But when he said a light-skinned
baller,
a light-skinned baller. Now, did you know that he was saying white?
I thought he was saying, oh no, I thought he just meant.
I thought, because I've always heard that used toward light-skinned black people is
that's what I thought he was saying.
Like kind of a derogatory way is how I've always heard it used.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too, but then didn't she come down and say something about didn't she come down and make a deal about race and her with a white person? I swear she did.
No, she came down. But she was saying that if she would have had dinner with another white guy, there wouldn't have been any issues. But because she was caught with a black guy, not caught, that's not the right word, but because someone saw her with a black guy, then it raises the questions of them dating. So that's what, yeah, I think he meant what you were saying, like a lighter skin black guy.
That would have been worse in my mind, because at that I was thinking that like he was trying to bring race into it as well, and being like, yeah, she was with some white dude, and making an issue of a white woman. I thought he was going like taking that route, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Who gives a shit? But
no, I think he was just, yeah.
She was then referencing on her own.
Yes.
The different. Okay, I get it now. I get it now.
I think, yeah. I think she was trying to make the point of like I think it kind of upset her that he like kind of brought it up and was trying to say to them like, it doesn't. No one cares if I'm with a white guy, but if I'm seen with a black guy, it's a big deal. I think she was just feeling all the emotions about everything.
Right. And, okay. That makes sense, because that just confused me, because I was like, okay, what are they talking about here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I feel like Jamie, we get this kind of villain every couple of seasons, is the guy, and he started very quickly, who has a very strong connection with the lead, and then immediately kind of turns into this like, well, she needs to put more effort into the relationship than me. She needs to meet me here, what we kind of saw with Greg. And then it never ends well. Like the guy who's just like, well, she didn't come talk to me. I'm not going to talk to her. She needs to come and prove to me that she's here for me, which started so fast. Like literally he was just like, yeah, she needs to meet me halfway, which I understand in normal relationships, but like you went on the show where your purpose is to pursue her. Like it is not her job to, at this point.
He's the cow. She's the one who's sitting down for dinner, and she's the one who gets to hand select her slab of meat for dinner. So he needs to run his role, dude. And that is, he doesn't get to be like, yo, girl, I'm the best looking cow here. You better eat me. Pick me. Pick.
Oh my God.
That's how it goes, man. It's her show. It's called Bachelorette. So, yeah.
But it was very interesting. I heard people say it was like the quickest fall from grace. Like I think a lot of people really liked him and his date. A little thrown off at the beginning, really liked him and his date and his story, and then instantly was like, no, red flags. Like this guy is not, that's not okay. So we'll see. I think she'll pick up on it really quick. Again, let's just glow about Michelle. I love her energy. I love her teacher. Like her standing there, like squashing all the drama. I think she's going to pick up on Jamie and his stuff pretty quickly. I don't think he'll stay long.
No, she's gonna weed him out real quick.
Yeah, he'll be our like beginning villain, and then we'll have a later villain.
Yeah, but I'm also surprised that she didn't weed out. What is the dude's name? Peter. How could she keep him around after hearing him standing?
Segue.
Someone. I'm like,
let's talk about my man Peter.
Dude, that dude is a fucking narcissist. Big time.
That man. Well, that group date was...
How dare he call me a narcissist? He don't know what I've done. He don't know anything about it. I'm here trying to do this, and I'm like, dude, you're proving the point of him calling you a narcissist right now. I tried hard to find that clip, but I couldn't find it.
So funny. Yeah, so... That was the first group date, which I thought was really, it's the typical teaching, but it made sense with Michelle because she is a teacher, so I liked it. Those kids were funny. That little girl was so funny when Peter was like, Michelle, and the girl was like, leave her alone. Like, I thought that was, I loved it. Peter, oh my God, he's like a little puppy dog. He has so much energy, the whole group date. I'm like, bro, calm down. I could understand why the guys were getting annoyed because he was just like, but whatever. He's trying to get his screen time. He's trying to pay attention to Michelle. Who cares? Whatever. I thought
in Paradise.
Huh?
You think he'll end up on Bachelor in Paradise? He gives me a good feel for like a beach kind of like a Jersey Shore kind of like you want this guy on a dramatic beach scene.
I feel like he's trying too hard to get on Bachelor in Paradise.
Really? That's true. That's true. I didn't think about that.
I feel like there are so like now there are just people that are just going on the show to really just hype themselves up and have their moment, so they'll end up in Paradise. I feel like he kind of reminds me of like Ed and Chasen, where they were like a big deal, and then once they got to Paradise, they were like who? Like they were just really relaxed. So I feel like Peter's really playing up, like, hey, Bella, like his character. But I liked it. I liked, huh?
Is he the pizzapreneur?
Yes, I love him.
That makes it even worse.
It's so funny. But so him and Will, which as soon as they said narcissist, I'm like, oh, Will's gonna write down Peter's name. Like, come on. Peter's face was so funny, where he was like, like so angry. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. They had that fight. It was stupid. Who cares? I think it's only going to get worse.
But like I said, I would not have given either of those guys a rose.
It's produced. We all know.
Huh?
It's producers. Like,
yeah. I mean, if I get to choose, I'm not giving either one of these clowns one.
No.
I'm sitting there trying to enjoy my cocktail party, and they're over there screaming and like within earshot. No thanks.
And other bachelorettes someone else pointed out, other bachelorettes would have went over there, interrupted. And I like that she just like let it happen, went up to him later and was like, okay, you need to like calm down. Like you could tell she's not into him, but like producers are like, we need him for 2 more weeks. We need the drama. Like, don't get rid of her. Like, but that was fun. Let's talk about, so it's obvious our 2 front runners are Joe and Nate, right? Like that's it's between those 2, let's be honest. Everyone else is kind of, we can pick and choose, but I really like Nate and I really like Joe. And her and Joe on that basketball date had so much chemistry. When they were when she's like talking to him and doing that like flirty thing, I was like, oh man, I would feel like I need to go home. Like but yeah,
I think they definitely have a connection. A lot of it doing with they're from the same state, the basketball.
Yeah,
you know, a lot in common anyway.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. Do you think there's more to them than what she said? As far as like they just exchanged a couple of texts and then he ghosted her. Do you think they
sent 2 messages and then he ghosted her?
Yeah. Do you think there's more to it than that? And do you think that they ever actually met face to face at any point?
I'm sure they would have had to, because she said that he was Mr. Basketball in 2011 and she was the runner-up the same year. And they went to like 2 different high schools. I'm sure they've like seen each other, been around. How big is where they're from? Like, honestly, like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Basketball, they run in the same circles. Like they were both collegiate, is that the right word? Athletes. I'm sure they've known each other, but I don't think they were like friends. Like, you know, like when you know, like like I was in theater, so I knew a lot of like the main theater people at other high schools, but I never really like met them or spent time with them. I'm sure it's probably like the same kind of thing. Like, you know of each other, but you're not like hanging out.
Right on. I was just wondering. Because when he confronted her with it, I was waiting for her to actually admit that, yeah, we have hung out before and all this stuff. I was waiting for that bombshell, but it never came. She stuck to her guns and was like, no, that's bullshit.
I feel like she would. I feel like she wouldn't keep that to herself. Like, she seems like the type of person that would be very upfront. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think she would. Huh?
Very upfront would have been her telling the guys in the first place.
That's true.
Look, you know, just full disclosure.
That's true.
He and I shared a couple of texts and then he ghosted me, and
that's
you know.
True. But so why say 2 if it was more? Like,
but why would he ghost her after just 2 texts? Just 2.
Yeah, so maybe it's really not ghosting. So they really don't know each other.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
They don't seem like they know each other, though.
I'm hoping for a Bachelorette conspiracy theory to come to fruition here. So,
yeah, I mean, I really like her and Nate. I feel like I said, two top people. I really like the little segment with Rodney. I really like Rodney. He's the apple guy. When she was feeding him the apples, and he was like, what? Do you think he was playing it up? Because he was like, is that lasagna? Like, are you stupid? It's pizza. Like, how do you not know what pizza tastes like?
yeah,
I don't know.
Say he had to be playing that up. Yeah.
I like him. I like him a lot.
I'm fully aware that you are all about Mr. Appleman.
He reminds me of Andrew S. from last season, just not as annoying. I really liked Andrew, though. Andrew in his stupid British accent. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, those are really the main focused. Jamie. Yeah. I don't feel like we've really seen enough of the guys yet. It's only the first episode. Still, everyone's kind of like, still haven't seen a lot of Clayton. He's supposed to be our bachelor. I really hope they pull something out with Clayton, because at this point, if it does come down to Joe and Nate, they better have a good reason why either one of those isn't the bachelor and Clayton is. You know what I mean? Sorry, there's like a little gnat that's like.
No, that's cool. Me too. Totally.
Like.
Me too.
But you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like people love Nate and Joe more than they like Clayton right now.
Right, so, right.
It reminds me a lot of the Colton. Colton was kind of in the background in his Bachelorette season, and then showed up like halfway through. People really didn't like him, and they still made him the Bachelor. So annoying.
It's not going to be that asshole from last season.
We don't speak of him here.
Yeah.
Did you hear? Do you have anything else about the episodes? I have some other things I want to talk about. Okay.
What's up?
We did lose Pardeep, which I wish we kind of got to know him more. He could have been the Dr. Joe. He was the first Indian contestant to be on the show. Live long, Pardeep. The two firefighters, she was not into the firefighters, sent them both home. And then someone else named Alec. I don't know who he was. Okay. Excited for next week. I want to talk about a couple little Bachelor Nation things. Speaking of the Bachelorette and last season, about 6 months, Blake and Katie have called it off their engagement. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, like, I feel like everyone's kind of saying it. Like, I thought it could have lasted longer. I could have seen him lasted longer, but honestly, like, I'm not that surprised. He lives in Canada. She literally just moved to San Diego, where all her old contestants are. Like, I don't know. I feel like they need to stop casting young people to be the leads, because this is when their like lives are beginning. You know what I mean? Like, now she's going to have all this fame, all these people. Same with like Matt James, where like now he's really blowing up, and now like he's engaged to one person. You know what I mean? Like, let them live their lives. Let them have fun now.
Yeah, go out there, fuck as many people as you can fuck before you.
Yeah, go girl. Sex positivity.
Hey man,
did you hear that she was?
I don't care who it is, man. Do you, man? Do whatever you want to do. Just remember, there are consequences for all of our decisions.
Wrap it before you tap it. Did you hear that Katie is getting into stand-up, and she opened for Whitney Cummings?
Are you serious? Okay, I don't have any faith whatsoever in this, but I'm definitely gonna check it out. Although
I heard it was not good.
If she's opening for Whitney Cummings, that means two things. One, that there is at least potential there, because I don't believe Whitney would fuck around like that.
No, she already did it, and I heard it wasn't great.
Well, okay, but I'm saying like there's either potential there,
yeah,
and definitely 100% Whitney wrote the majority of her jokes for her.
Really,
100% had to be.
Do you like Whitney Cummings?
She's funny, yeah, and
She's funny.
Aside from her stand-up comedy, I mean, she was one of the writers on Roseanne, Connors. She's been involved.
Really?
Yeah, dude, she's been on the writing staff for so many shows, great shows. Behind the scenes, she's a writer, she's a producer, she's very talented, and she's been involved in a lot of very good projects. So yeah, I mean that's why I say that if Whitney is messing around with her and giving her time of day, then she
has to
see something there to work with. It's gonna be a rough thing to work with, but she sees something there, and yeah, I guarantee at least starting out, yeah, Whitney's writing the majority of her jokes. Of course, old girl would, say these are some, thoughts and premises. I just don't know how to make them into a joke. These are things I think are funny. And Whitney's probably helping her, get it down and write the jokes out in a way that makes sense and conveying her punchlines and stuff, which that's fine. Comedians have writing partners. So, but that's very interesting. I still have zero faith in it working out in the long run, but I'm going to check it out. But dude, please don't be like another, oh my gosh, please don't be like another fucking Amy Schumer. All she talks about is cum on her head and shit like that. Dude, well, first of all, I really liked Amy Schumer when she first came out. She was fucking hilarious. But then she started like all of her content, it seemed like, was about sex and stuff like that. And then it came out that she was a joke thief, and now I just don't give her the time of fucking.
She tries too hard to be relatable. Like, she's just not. I watched that. This is off topic. I watched that movie she did a couple years ago, I Feel Pretty, and it's awful. It's terrible. It's the whole thing is like she hits her head, and then she thinks she's beautiful, but like Amy Schumer's whole thing is that she's like, I'm fat, and I'm like, you're literally, and you're not. Like, you're literally not. And I like people have called her out on it, and that was the whole movie. And the whole premise of the movie is that she thought she was ugly, hit her head, thought she was beautiful, but she wasn't seeing herself in the mirror. She was seeing a super skinny version of herself everywhere she went. So it was so stupid. Like, she only thought she was pretty because she saw this pretty version, not because she realized she was beautiful all along. It was so dumb. I was like, girl. Anyway, and then I wanted to talk to you about this. We've talked about this a little bit. The Bachelorette Australia has their first bisexual lead, and they have men and women on the season together. And then there are people, I guess, like other contestants are like hooking up with each other and like talking to each other because they have men and women. Like, I want to watch this season because I like the girl. She was on one of the seasons of Bachelor in Paradise Australia that I watched, and I really liked her. But I heard it's very interesting. I just thought it was because she's the first bisexual lead we've had. And this is the first time they've ever done anything like this. And I know that they have talked a lot about people have wanted this for America or wanted like a gay bachelor. They want Colton to be the gay bachelor. No, thank you. So I just think it was interesting that they were able to do it, see how well it goes. And maybe that will happen sometime over here. I don't know.
I think, isn't Bachelor in Paradise Australia on Hulu?
Is it?
I'm
is
not
Canada?
But I think there is at least one Australian Bachelor show on Hulu. I'm not for sure.
I think HBO Max has like a bunch of the different bachelors and stuff from different countries.
Okay, I've got that.
Yeah, because they have a Canadian. They literally have them all over. Canadian, German. They had a English, Australian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway.
Hey Sarah. Hey Sarah.
Yeah.
Hey Sarah. Yeah. Can I be the Bachelor on Bachelor Japan?
I feel like this is a trap.
No, I just I just think Japanese girls are so
and that is going to be the end of our show.
My cousin a lucky guy.
Honestly, not much happened really this episode, just except for Jamie and Joe and stuff that we talked about. Hopefully next week is a little bit more drama. And Peter. Until then, Jay Wade, where can the people follow you?
Y'all can follow me on the Twitter at jwade1134. That's the letter J, WADE 1134, and also at the JCast Network on the Twitter there again. Also, this show, as well as some others, are put up on the podcast feed. You can go to Anchor and that'll direct you to whatever platform you use there. Also, if you're interested, I've just started doing music reaction videos, and that's doing pretty good. So, yeah.
Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at SCBock, SSCABOCK. You can follow the show at Go Get That Rose on Twitter. And yeah, that's basically it. See you next time. Bye-bye.
You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.